Welcome. It's time to do another landscape. Let's see, I'm making sure there's no glare on there. I'm doing it on gray. This is the one I primered the other day. Uh, I took a little gesso and put some acrylic Mars black in the gesso and covered it in one coat. So that's pretty amazing because if you just use white gesso, because I covered over an old painting. You can't even see it underneath there. It was an acrylic painting. So it's still relatively flat, you know. I got something in mind today. I'm going to do what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out a river in here and then design around the river. So let me put that in real quick, and then I'm using uh, I mixed my green with ultramarine blue. So I'm going to try and fill the whole canvas in today. So I'm going to have the river come from pretty far back here. I'm going to try and, keep the river level. And bring it out the side here. That's about the way I want it. I'm just going to darken it up a bit so I can kind of see it better. I have a winding river. Maybe I'll even come back further once I get the mountain in there. There we go. Looks like a backwards number 3. So I'll show you my palette. I got burnt umber. I put a little yellow ochre in it. My burnt umber's kind of coagulated when I put it down, so I have to stir it up or put another color in it. Yellow ochre, I put a little bit of the burnt umber in this yellow ochre. This is yellow ochre, yellow. So this green here was ultramarine blue, and I just mixed yellow ochre in it. The right out of the tube, yellow ochre. It's a very dark green. I don't think I'll have to add any black to it I'll make the trees that color. It's pretty dark. This ultramarine blue, I added pure yellow in it. And I took a little bit of this and added white in this green. I might use this for shading. I'll mix a little gray in it and then shade the trees with this color. Ultramarine blue with the white, because ultramarine blue is pretty bright. You don't want to put that right up on your canvas out of the tube. You want to mix it down a little. And Payne's gray with white. I'm going to do the mountains different today with a knife, okay? I'm going to do a lot of things different today. I'm trying to make this look like as real as possible, to nature. Look at that blue on that sky. Wow. On that gray. I don't know if you can see that, but wow. The gray undertone, it really works because I compared the one I did yesterday with the one I did on white. And the ones that are painted on white, you can see some of the white underneath the paint, and you see more of the lines in it. But this gray, it covers all the places you miss with your brush. It really makes the painting look a lot more complete, I think. Uh, like say you miss a spot and uh, you don't add paint to it, the gray will fill it in. You'll have a gray spot rather than a white spot, and it'll look more like the sky, you know. So this is really blue. So I'm debating whether or not I should lighten it up before I go on. But I'm going to go with the dark blue sky. We'll see what happens. If it doesn't look good, I'll just put a bunch of clouds over it. So I am going to have some mountains in here. So, and I want them, I'm putting them up high so I can have more depth in the painting. It takes longer to paint, but the painting looks a lot better than just having a mountain here with water and a few trees. This way I get to put some hills in here, put distant trees, and have a foreground down here. So that's pretty blue, but I like the way it's like popping on that gray. It's I'm gonna try a little white now at the bottom. See what happens. Yeah, see, that'll end up looking like clouds, but I'm gonna have my mountain, still gonna have my mountain up high. So I'm gonna do the mountain in the gray that I mixed, a light gray. Let's see if it's gonna let me put it on there now. I'm just gonna do an outline of a mountain in gray. I'm going to do knife work today on this light gray. This is about a number, I'll check the scale of this gray for you in a second. But look at that. Look at that mountain on that blue, on that dark blue. So I got my color wheel here. You could check your gray with this value level here. This is a value 7. So you can get 2 more values before you get to white, or 1 more. So a value 5 is equal amounts of black and white. This looks like, yeah, it's a value 6. So it's a little bit, it's got a little more white than black. Although I used, started with Payne's Gray, which is almost like, it's almost like black. Payne's Gray is between 1 and 2, I'd say. All right, there's the mountain. I really like that the way the gray is kind of, or the blue is popping through on that light gray. Um, so I did mix some dark greens. I got a couple different greens here. I'm going to have probably a hill come here and a hill here. No, I would cover that. Maybe a hill in front of, yeah, right here, and then a hill behind this river here. So I'm going to put in light green back here. This is the green I mixed white in it, okay? So what I'm going to do is have a hill come down to the front of the river here. Very light green. Look at that. I'm going to have some dark trees up there. There's some cool colors. Looks different. Grab my darker green for this side. I have that river kind of disappear between those hills there. So far it looks like I'm going to have a lot of flat ground in here to work with, which is okay. I could put a few more hills down in here. I'm going to put some dirt underneath this hill here, so I'm going to use yellow ochre that I mixed. This is yellow ochre with some burnt umber in it. Is that right? Yeah. It's not pure. It's not pure yellow ochre. It's got some brown in it. I'm using a filbert brush to lay in all the color first, my underpaint. The gray is the undercoat, but the paint I'm putting down now is also underpaint. I think this is a number 12 filbert brush. It's made for acrylic paint. I'm going to lighten up the top of this hill back here real quick. Just by adding white to it. Get it to blend into the green, just on the top. So you get some different tones going on there. Same thing here, even though that's light green already, I'm going to add some more white to it. So it gets a different color in the green. So it just doesn't look like one color green. I'm going to add a little white to my yellow ochre here. And then I'm going to add some burnt umber in here, create some hills. just like that. Decided to put more grass over here, maybe another small hill here. I wrap it around the river. It's looking good. I'm going to put a hill right here and kind of hide some of the river behind it. It's a green hill here. Some yellow ochre at the bottom around the river. Just thrown in color right now. Once I get the trees going and the bushes, it should look pretty good. And I can lay that river in a little better. This is that yellow ochre with burnt umber in it. I'm gonna put some dark color down here, burnt umber. This will have some dirt around the river down here. Look at that. Some crazy looking green colors, huh? It's because I used that ultramarine blue pretty much in every color here. The sky, the green. I kind of like it. Let me do the clouds real quick. And then I'll throw the snow up there. Then I'll start putting trees in here. It'll start taking shape. I'm going to put the clouds in white because I'm going to end up shading, putting some shadows on the bottom. I do want to have a big cloud here in the corner. So what I'm going to do is put that in first. Just like that. Believe it or not, this cloud will look like it's closest to us, okay? And when you do these clouds, don't wet your brush too much, okay? So down here at the bottom, I want to put some smaller clouds. Around at the bottom of the mountain. Trying to make these look like they're further away. Let's see how it looks in the frame. Pretty good. Let me get one cloud here that's kind of layered on top of another one. There we go. Good enough. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put some gray at the bottom of each cloud. You don't need much gray. I'm using the gray I used on the mountain. So I'm going to add in some shadows at the bottom of these clouds, okay? By swiping it in there at the bottom. You don't need much, and then rinse your brush off, and then wipe your brush off with a paper towel, and come in here and lightly blend the gray. With the brush is a little wet, okay? It'll like blend on it. Put a few streaks in the sky as well. Pull some of the ends of your clouds out a little bit. Okay. There we go. That looks good. All right, I'm going to move on to the mountain now. I'm going to use this type of knife and put in some cool. I'm going to try and leave a lot of the gray showing, okay? So I'm going to hit it with the knife and try and be very light with the knife. And wiggle it a little, and you'll get some spots where it stays gray underneath it, okay? They call that a break. Just get a little bead on the end of your knife. Come up to the right side, and then start wiggling your knife a little, and pull it down. And the lighter you touch, the more break you'll get, okay? Just like that. See how some of the gray is showing through? don't put if you're not getting a break, don't put as much paint on. Just get less paint on there, okay? Each peak will come out a little different. I like to turn my knife to the side down here so the mountain starts flattening out a little bit. So I'll come down a little bit and then turn my knife and start pulling it to the right. It makes the mountain start looking like it's leveling out down here, okay? Let's put a few streaks down in here to get some kind of different hill going on in front here. See that? All right, so this side here, I'm going to mix some of that blue from the sky with some white. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side and let some of the gray show through, okay? So I'm grabbing some of this blue. I'm going to mix white with it. It's a very light blue. This is what color the sky should have been. Maybe that color. I can still lighten up that sky if it doesn't look good at the end. But that is one bright blue sky. So same thing, wipe your knife off and then just get a little bit of that blue on there. Now you're going to come up to the left of your snow. You're going to pull to the left some of this blue color, okay? Just get a very little bit on your knife. Come right up to this next to your white and pull it to the left. On this small spot up there, you're going to have to turn to this side of the knife to get in a tight space up there. Turn your knife, come right up to the white. You can even touch it and then just pull to the left. You don't have to cover this gray. I made the mountain light gray because I wanted the mountain to have multiple colors now, okay? You don't want to cover the whole mountain with this blue. Just like that. Leave some of the gray back there. The mountain's going to end up looking like it has more things going on in it by letting the paint break like that. You'll get used to it. I'm going slow for you, so you can kind of see me do it in slow motion. And you don't have to be real precise with the knife. Just let the color come off the way it wants to come off. If it comes off heavy, just leave it like that. I've been doing my mountains with the brush for the last probably month, but I'm going to get back into the knife work because it makes it look a little more realistic, I think. And once you start messing with more colors up here, like browns and stuff, you can make some cool looking mountains by using this technique with the knife, okay? Look at that. That is one cool mountain. So, like, you know, I put these little white hills in here. So, same thing. Take a little bit of that shade color and just underneath the white, pull some of this light blue just underneath it. Just like that. I could work it more and make, you know, these look like plateaus up there. You would just have to add a little more white to the top up there. Let me try it. Make them look like a shelf there, you know. Very good. All right, let's. I'm gonna start working my way down now with some trees. I'm gonna put the river in again, so it pops out a little more. This looking pretty good. Really happy with it. I think what happened, I let the river kind of dictate what this was going to look like down here, but that's okay. I still like it. I'll have bushes in front of the river and stuff. This I kind of like how the river got cut off by the hill right there. So that's why I put the river in first. It is, what is today? Today is Tuesday. I got through my hard day already. Monday was, that's the day I got to get up early. Every Monday. And I got to go to bed early on Sunday. We had a gig too. We had a gig on Sunday. And I'm glad I got through it. Alright, so there's the river. Let's see how it's looking. Pretty good. Like I said, I think I'm going to have the river maybe turn again and go up even higher into the mountains when I'm done. It's looking really good. I'm going to take some of my medium green and I'm going to try and put some trees on this hill back here. Maybe I'm just going to brush them in. Just going to brush in a dark color back here. Kind of round the top part. Take your filbert brush and round some of the top with your filbert. Just like that. See how it looks like distant trees on that hill now? Just take the filbert and paint in some round tops up there. Very good. That's good enough for now. I'll work those in a little bit. I'm going to do the same thing over here on this hill. Same color. This hill's a little closer, so we can make these trees a little bigger. Just take your filbert brush and stamp it on there. Okay. On this one, let's pull some of the bottom color. Now, very carefully pull a little bit of the color to the right. Hopefully I'm not in the way. Just a little color out. Let's pull a little more here and create some shadows in this grass. Just like that. See how we got like a plateau now coming down with these dark shady areas. I'm trying to think of how I want this back here. I'm going to pull a little dark from here. Create some hills in here. Just putting shadows down in that grass now. Looks pretty good. I like that. I think I'm going to leave this a grassy hill here. And I'm going to put some trees coming from here up about this high into the sky. Skinny trees, very skinny. So I'm going to take some of my dark green now. I didn't even have to put black in this green. I'm going to put in some bushes right here, right on the top of this hill. Pull it back. I'm going to use I'm going to try my Princeton. No, it's too flimsy. I'm going to use a Robert Simmons fan brush, okay? It says it's a number 5, but I'm not sure if that's right. I'm going to put in a tall tree there and see what it looks like. I'm not even looking at this stuff anymore, but I know it. I think it looks cool. Let me put a tree up here and see what it looks like. I don't want it to be a fat tree, so I'm going to make it really tall and skinny. So I'm going to keep the corner of my brush on the trunk, right in the middle, and just get wider as I come down and press harder. Stay in the middle, and then just get wider as you come down. Fill the whole tree in with branches. Just like that. Wow. It looks pretty good. You could come up here and adjust your tree a little if you want. Stand back and look at it and adjust the branches. It needed to be a little wider. Now I'm not going to put one here because I don't want to cover that tree, but I'm going to put another one right next to it here. Just one more, maybe a small one at an angle, kind of at an angle. Same way, stay on the trunk with the corner. Just press the branches in. See how it's going over the mountain, and that green is lighter. It's and this is brown, really light. You want to make sure your background is lighter than your tree, of course. And then you can make these bushes look more like bushes by pulling up on them. Just like that. All right, I kind of like this. Pull up this bush a little. Wow. Look, let me zoom in for you. So far, I like it. I like it a lot. I'm not sure if I like the blue. the bright blue sky. So I'm going to probably lighten the sky up a bit. Let me get some more trees in, then I'll lighten it up a bit. Okay. I got enough. I made enough dark green this time, which is kind of cool. I like that. So I want to cover this corner of the river as well. So what I'm going to do is put some bushes here. Just pull up kind of pull up with the corner of your brush to make these bushes stand out. Okay. Take the bottom and pull it to the left. Pull some of that color into the brown. Create some shadows in there. Okay. I'll do this in a second. But I want to run a tree up here now. Make it a big tree because this is pretty close to us, and I want to put it right on the edge, believe it or not. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move the camera and then do it from the other side so I can make the tree look better. Alright, so I'm going to have a big tree right on the side of this mountain. I don't want to cover up this mountain, so pull down the trunk, grab some more paint, and let's put a tree in here. Alright. This is going to be a big tree. I'm going to come down first and then adjust my branches. Pretty good. All right. I like it. Let me get that glare off of there. Doesn't that look cool? We got some depth going on now. This is pretty much where we're standing, right in front here. Very good. Pull some shadow out here. Kind of liking it now. put some shadow in this grass here so it takes on a different look. See how I covered this corner of the river and this one, but still looks good. I like it. Man, that mountain looks huge, but I like the way it looks. Like it looks like it's 3D on that blue, but I'm still gonna probably lighten up the blue. Uh, wow, I think it looks pretty cool. It almost looks like it does look like 3D to me. Pretty amazing. You won't see this color out in nature, I don't think, that blue, but let's highlight these let me highlight this tree here. I'll show you what I'm going to do on this one. I'm going to mix a little gray in this same color. The gray I used to make that mountain. Just take a little bit of that gray and add it to your dark green. That way you're using the same color. You're using the same green. And watch this. I'm going to highlight the top parts of these branches with this grayish color. Give it some highlight. See that? Makes the tree stand out a little more. I should have moved the camera to this side again, but you get the idea. Wow. So it's the same color green. I just added gray to it. So it goes well together, I think. What I'm going to do to make this simple, I'm accidentally getting blue in it now. I want to highlight some, you could either do this, like swipe some gray down in here like this with your fan brush, the same way you pulled it up, swipe up like that, or you could take your brush and actually like create some highlights on it like this. See what I mean? Either way, or you can just put these at the bottom like this. Swipe up here and then put these little things going on at the bottom. Okay, like this. I'm trying to move fast. See that? Kind of highlighted them. All right, let me get moving here. I got to decide what I'm doing with the sky. I want to try and finish most of this one before, so you don't have to wait for the community post. All right, right, this is looking pretty good. So it needs a lot of work. It needs a lot of attention around this river. More bushes here. Needs some more trees out here. Let me get a smaller fan brush. I got this little, look at this. It's a #2 fan brush. Let's put a tree way out there somewhere. Watch, the light's coming from the right. So what I'm going to do is put a few trees right here. Put some evergreen trees right here. And then I'm going to pull a shadow out from it. Sometimes these brushes get really flimsy when they get wet, but all right, we got 3 trees there. I'm going to wipe my brush off with a paper towel, and at the bottom I'm going to pull the color to the left. Should create a shadow there. Yeah, did. You can even highlight those if you want. And you can adjust them as well. If you don't like the way the branches look, you can fill them in more. Just like that. That looks good. You can put, let's put some bushes coming. Like in front of it. All right, guys. I really like this one. Let me just put some, I'm going to put some bushes across the front of this river and see what it looks like. So I'm going to run color all the way across, and very gently with the corner, I'm going to pull that color up really quickly in some of the spots. It's going to cover some of the river, but that's okay. And now with your brush at the bottom, pull just a little color to the left at the bottom. Make it even at the bottom, okay? And then now we can pull some color into this other dirt, create some shadows. Just a little. And that's how I'm going to finish all this too, the same way. I'll do a little. I'll probably run some bushes on the river's edge and then pull some color, make some hills in this dirt out here like that, okay? I usually add a little bit of, let's see if it works. I'm going to add a little white in here, see what happens. got to get it to blend into that green though. Might have to wet your brush a little. Very good. I like it. All right, I'm going to try glazing this back here real quick with yellow before I shut the camera off. Just a very little bit of yellow on my brush, and I wet it. It's almost like a watercolor now. I'm going to glaze this whole back area. Maybe the sun's hitting right in here. And just glaze the yellow in there. You can go over the trees because it's all dry back there. It's going to make it look like the sun's hitting right there, okay? And you can take some of that yellow and do it down here as well on this hill. Just glaze in some yellow color. Just make sure it's all dry already. Because what it does, it goes over the dark color. It leaves the shadows in there and then makes the green a little brighter. Wow. Look at that, guys. That's pretty amazing. In 1 hour. Still needs some work, but I think the mountain came out pretty good today. It looks, I was going for a real look, you know. Let me put a few birds up there, and I like how the clouds are still kind of bright up here. So what I might do, I might lighten up the sky and brighten up some more of the clouds. That looks really good, that white up there. So that's not hard to do. Just take a brush, a filbert brush, and just get more white on your brush and follow the contours of the cloud, okay? And then just add your white into it like this. If you want to brighten up the top parts of the cloud, okay? Then rinse your brush off. Gotta grab another paper towel. Rinse your brush off and then wipe it with a paper towel, and then underneath on the bottom, stamp it down into the cloud to get rid of that hard edge, okay? You can even pull it again, just at the bottom. There, now you got a bright cloud up there. You can do it on these small ones, not too much, just a little white. If you want to brighten up things, just take a little color, okay, and maybe just hit some high points on these clouds, okay, not too much. All right, guys, let me put a bird up there using this is a liner brush. Eventually I'll start I'm still trying to find the right liner brush that's right for me. Let's put some birds up here. Let's put one on the mountain, see what it looks like. Put an eagle there. For some reason, it looks like 3D to me. Very cool. Very cool. I still got to finish the river, but I'll put a few twigs out here for you. Get your wet brush, and then get the your paint to run like ink, so you can make some twigs. Okay. Just get your brush wet, dip it in the paint, and make it really wet. And put some white. If you do it very lightly, I got to get some of the paint off of here. But if you do it very lightly, you can make really thin twigs with white. Kind of, you got to get there we go. Kind of like that. So they're not so standing out too much. Kind of like that, okay? Mess around with your twigs. You can use different colors, okay? And you can run them like in all directions, like this, from the side. This came out pretty good. I really like it. Sometimes I'll use a knife on my trunk. I'm going to take, I'll use a brush. Take a little brown, burnt umber, add a little white to it. If you got red, you can put a little red in it. But you could put this, come straight down where you think the trunks are at. Just swipe some color in there. Just on these far ones, just a little, okay? Not too fat. Just a hint of a trunk on them, okay? Just like that. Alright guys, I'll finish this up and I'll put it on the community post. How I'm going to do the water, I'm going to kind of do it like I did the mountain with the little white on my blade. And I'm going to kind of run it down the river's edge like this. Okay. Just run some water down. This takes a little practice too. I'm gonna run some bushes on this side and then run some water down the river with a knife, just like that. All right, guys, I really like this one. All right, looks good. All right, we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.